Alright, welcome to my third playthrough of Dungeoneer, Tomb of the Lich Lord. I try to go back to my original videos and leave captions, corrections. So go ahead and turn the captions on for this one, because I will probably end up having to put some corrections in this one too. I don't see why this one would be any different. Alright, so the base game came with 6 characters, and I've been playing with 2 different characters for each video. So this one will be the last 2 characters of the 6 that came in the pack. And we're going to be playing with... This is the Elf Sorceress. At level 1, her melee is 0. Her magic is 1, and her speed is 2. I would have almost expected the magic to be her higher stat, but anyway, she starts with 6 health. She can have a maximum of 1 treasure in her inventory and 4 boons. And her special ability is Magic Aptitude. You may pay 1 glory to reroll a die in a magic combat. Okay, so that should come in handy. Okay, we'll put that there. And the second character for this game, which is the 6th character in the box, is the Necrowarrior. Now at level 1, you know what? His melee is 1, his magic is 0, and his speed is 2. Starts with 6 health, and he has an even 3 treasure cards and 3 boon cards that can be in inventory. Alright, his specialty is Undeath. If reduced to 0 health, you may pay 5 glory and discard your hand, return to level 1 as an undead, and recover 1 wound. Wow. So you get to respawn. Okay. So I have to keep that in mind. This is one of the main things I have to keep in mind by taking my time. Remember, they have special abilities to use. Okay, so let's put their hit point dice out. Now I'm going to be using blue for the Sorceress and green for the Necromancer. Okay, and they each start with 2 movement points each turn. That's based on their speed score. So let's put movement point tokens there. Okay, and I'm going to show the figures. Again, I've not been using the standees, I've been grabbing figures from other games. So this is going to be the Elf Sorceress. Now these are both from one of the Dungeons & Dragons Adventure System game boards. I'm not sure which one. But anyway, this is the Elf Sorceress. And then this guy, yep, look at that. That is the Necrowarrior. Okay, let's go ahead and build our map. I've got the starting location out, which is always the tomb threshold in this set. That's the entrance. Start here. You may not initiate a challenge on a hero here, and you may pay 2 glory to discard 1 personal hero quest and draw 1 new one. All 4 doors are open and clear. And whenever they enter this room, they gain 1 peril and 1 glory. Okay, so we'll set that out, and we'll go ahead and set them on the entrance right now. And since they've entered, I'm going to go ahead and give them both 1 glory, 1 peril, 1 glory, 1 peril, 1 glory. So setting the characters on the starting tile and collecting 1 of each is part of setup. And I'm going to add something new to this playthrough. It's going to be this big bead here at the bottom. That's going to be my reminder on whose turn it is. Because I got into a situation last game where player 2 threw out a monster, and by the time I discussed it, the monster ended up attacking player 2. So this will be an easy reminder on whose turn it is. All right, so let's get this map built. So to start with, you separate the passageways from the rooms. Now these are only the passageways. So I'm going to throw out 4 of these. That's what we're going to use to build up our starting map. And then I'll put the rest of the passages scattered throughout the rooms. We'll mix these up real good. Now this is one of those things that I discovered on a reread of the rules, because I had been just picking any 4 cards, but it specifically said only passages can be used for the first 4 cards. Okay, so let's see what we have and get them on the map. Okay, the first one is a junction, and we're going to put that, you know what, we're going to put this one here, yeah. And you can, it's your choice on where you put them. All right, and this is a grim junction. Same thing as a junction, but what makes this so grim is there's a +2 to traps whenever you have to test against traps here. So we'll go ahead and put that one on that side. Okay, here we have a grim corner. Now here's a pit. Here's another thing that I did remember later in my video last time. But when you enter this, you have to test your speed and get a 6 or better, or you fall in the pit. And when you fall in the pit, you tip your character over, and it costs 1 movement point to untip it. So you cannot move again until you untip. So that has to go up there. And finally, a grim intersection. And there's a pit, but you have to get a 7 or better. Now because this top door is blocked, we're not able to put it here. So let's go ahead and just put this regular junction down here and slide this one over there. All right, and that is our starting map. We've got our map deck ready to go. Next, we are going to deal out quests. So each character will have 2 personal quests, and then there will be 1 global quest that either one of them can attempt. And the first character to complete 3 quests will be the winner. Now, last time I had left 2 quests out of the game, which meant I also left the corresponding map cards out. That's because I didn't quite understand them yet, but I read up on them, and they're really not as hard as I thought they were going to be. So they are back in the decks. And this gameplay is actually with every card that came in the set. Okay, let's see what his 2 quests are. First one is going to be this Infernal Negotiation. It's a sacrifice. So he has to find the summoning chamber, and to complete the quest, he has to pay 4 plus his level in glory while in the summoning chamber. And I keep saying him, but this is the her. This is the sorceress. Okay, so while this card is in play, demons have a +1 to attack her. And in play just means that it is out and has not been completed yet. So until she takes care of that, demons get a +1 against her. All right, her second one is to slay Drakey. So she needs to go to the Inner Sanctum, and he's just a simple 1 hit point monster, and she just has to kill him. So that shouldn't be too bad. All right, let's take a look at the Necrowarrior's quests. His first one is Rig's Curse, which is a sacrifice. So he needs to go to the Well of Healing and either discard a readied permanent boon from his inventory, or he can permanently nullify his special ability by putting a token over the ability. So that one's actually not too bad. His second one is to free Caedmon's soul. Now this is an escort quest. He needs to go to the crypt. While in the crypt, he places a token here which represents the soul. And to complete the quest, he needs to go back to the entrance where he is now, the tomb threshold, and release the soul back into the world. So while he has that soul, while that token is on here, the undead have a +1 to attack him. All right, so that's another thing we have to remember. Take our time to remember those kind of things too. Now, the global quest, which either of them can do, Serac the Assassin. Now this is a search and slay quest. So to complete this quest, you have to find Serac first of all. To find him, you roll the d6, and you need to get 7 or better while in the room, adding +1 to your roll for each space you are from the nearest entrance. So this one gets easier the bigger the map is, because you can get farther away, and each one you are away, you add +1 to your d6 die roll. So obviously, you're not going to find him in the entrance. You cannot get 7, but technically, oh, you know what? Let me see. To find him, roll while in any room. So we cannot even search those, because those are passages. Okay. So anyway, where are we? Each turn, okay. So each turn requires a new search, and each search attempt uses 1 movement. Now when you find him, he's going to attack. I think he is the only monster, or only character, not character, let's call him a monster. He's the only enemy in this base set that uses speed, I believe. So anyway, that is the global quest. Okay, now the last thing we need to do is deal out 5 cards each from the adventure card deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a sorceress hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Necrowarrior's hand. All right. Setup is complete. And we are going to go ahead and start this game. So phase 1 is the reset. Phase 2 is the Dungeon Lord. So let's see what the sorceress has in her hand. Now to start with, they both only have 1 peril point to spend. So let's pull the peril cards up here. Now this one costs 4, this one costs 6, so she can't do anything anyway this turn with those. Alright, so the third phase is the build phase. Let's go ahead and draw and hope we get some good stuff early on. Unlike this. Okay, this is another passage, it's a turn. So let's put this up here as such. Okay. Now phase 4 is the hero phase. This is where she spends her points. Okay, and like I did last game, I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 point and explore, because we really need to get some rooms out here. Unlike this new passage, it's a corner. You know what, I'm just going to have fun up in here. Let's see, let's go ahead and scroll up. We'll just put that corner next to the turn. Alright, make a little cul-de-sac up there. And she has 1 point left. I'm going to go ahead and move her, because she needs to get some glory points in case she wants to buy some cards. So let's go ahead and spend this and move down to the junction. It doesn't get her much, but a little bit. She gains 2 peril and 1 glory. Okay, so that, now that's the end of her movement, or her movement points. And she only has 2 glory points, so she is not able to buy anything just yet. Okay, so that's the end of the hero phase. Now it's discard. So let's see, Mighty Strike, I like that. Repel, those are always great to have. Holier Lantern, now that's what I played last game, but I don't know if I used its ability as often as I should have. So we're down to just a Poltergeist and Lich Lord. It's going to be a while before I can get these out, so let's go ahead and just discard the Lich Lord and draw 1 card to add to my hand. Now she's back up to 5. Alright, and that is the end of her turn. Now we go over to the Necrowarrior. Okay, everything resets, no problem. Let's see, phase 2 is 3 peril points on the sorceress. Let's go ahead and get these up front here. So we can't bring out the ghoul. Costs 4. But there's this poison needle trap. I think that'll be great to throw on the sorceress. So let's make sure, yeah, there's nothing in her location. So okay, first of all, let's spin the peril to cast it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to throw this poison needle trap at her. She needs to get a 7 or better using speed. Now her speed is 2. So let's go ahead and roll the blue one, which will be her die in this game. She gets a 5 plus 2 is 7. And that's enough. She succeeds, which means she gains 1 glory. All right, well that worked out well for her. Okay, so he cannot play any more Dungeoneer, Dungeon Lord cards. So he will move on to phase 3. He draws the Crypt. Undead cost 1 less peril to play here. So who had the Crypt? He did. So we're going to want to put it somewhere close to him. In fact, we're going to go ahead and just put that. You know what? I'm going to put it out here. Okay. Phase 4, his hero phase. He will spend 1 point to move into the Grim intersection. Oh shoot. I should have put the crypt down here because now I'm going to have to go past this pit each time. That was poor planning. You know what? I am going to go ahead and change my mind. Well, let me ask the other player. Is it all right if I go back and move that? Yeah, I guess so. All right, so as long as everyone agrees, that's where that's going to go. So he spent his points, and now he's going to come down here to the junction. That's just going to make things easier. And he has 1 point left. So let's go ahead and spin that and move him into the crypt. Oh, all my goofing around. I forgot to get 2 peril and 1 glory for moving into the junction. Now, for moving into the crypt, he gets 3 peril and 2 glory. There we go. Okay. So now, let's take a look at this. It says, when in the crypt, place a token on this to represent the soul, and to complete it, discard at the tomb threshold, which is not very far. It's only 2 spaces away. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start this quest. So we'll put a token on it. Now I also have to remember that undead have a +1 while attacking me while I've got this. Okay, let's see if he's going to buy any glory cards. He has 4 points to spend. So he could get this iron breastplate. You put a token on here, then at any time you can either remove the token or discard this card to prevent 1 melee wound. He's got a healing, which he doesn't need yet. Improved aim. Now his melee is 1 already. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 glory to bring out the iron breastplate. Now another thing I haven't mentioned is that you can only have 1 of each type. So he cannot have another treasure card that's a permanent listed as armor. So I don't think that really comes into play with just 1 set like this, but if you have multiple sets, it probably comes with new armors, new helmets and stuff. Okay, so that's all. He doesn't have any points to spend for anything else. Now there is one thing I have not mentioned in my other videos, is whenever you end your hero phase, sometimes you may want to leave 1 movement point in case you need it on your opponent's next turn. But what I read was that you can only do 1 that way. Later on, as they gain levels and gain more movement points, I've been leaving 2 or 3. I don't know if I've actually used them, both in the opponent's turn, but that is the rule. You can only leave 1. So I will pay attention to that. And now we're in discard, so I'm going to get rid of... Boy, let's just get rid of, I guess, improved aim. I like the healing, and I'm going to need to hit him with some monsters soon. So we'll get rid of improved aim and draw 3 cards. Let's see if I can count better. 1, 2, 3. So that's 5. All right. And that is the end of the Necrowarrior's first turn. I'm going to go ahead and do one more turn here in this video. Okay, so he resets his movement points, or she. Okay, and let's see. I think that is all we need to do. Okay, now let's see. He's got 6 peril points for her to spend. And she has a dimension shift. Relocate target unoccupied dungeon map to any legal location. Now, it's pretty early here, and there's nothing I need to move. So I'm just going to throw this poltergeist out. So let's go ahead and spin 4 of these. Okay, set that down. So now he is in the crypt. Oh, undead. Look at this. He's undead. So while he's in the crypt, undead cost 1 less peril to play here. So instead of 4, I just had to pay 3. So that's one of those things you need to keep watching. Now his ability, if reduced... Oh, that's right. And she has magic attacks. So this is only if he dies, and that's if she's in a magic attack. Okay. But because he is carrying this soul, the undead add +1 to attacks. Undead have +1 to attack you while you have the soul. Alright, so let's keep all that in mind. It's going to use melee. It only has 1 hit point. So it's going to add 3 and then +1 for this. So let's use this for the monster. Oh, it gets a 1 + 4, so its total is 5. Now, the Necrowarrior is going to be using melee, so he gets a +1, and that is it. So he needs to... Oh, look at that. He got a 7, which definitely beats the 5. Alright, so let's take all this away. Now he did 1 wound to this, which is enough to kill it. So because he did a wound, he gets 1 glory point. Okay, and we discard that. Alright, so that was the end of the Dungeon Lord phase for the Sorceress. Now we go to the build phase. She draws the Outer Sanctum. The undead have +1 to all attacks here. If you haven't noticed, this is a tomb. It's actually the tomb of the Lich Lord. The Lich Lord, which I discarded on turn 1. But in the tomb, the theme of this is undead. So, let's see. The Outer Sanctum. No quests require the Outer Sanctum yet. So it's safe to go ahead and put this up here. I do want to show you the edge of the box. If you've got them all stacked up, you can see that this one is Tomb. Its theme is undead. Yep, isn't that fancy? Okay, let's see. Now, that was phase 3, so phase 4 is his hero phase. He has 2 movement points. Was he going anywhere? No, nothing's really out yet. So he's going to do another explore action. And he finds the barracks. All encounter monsters have +1 combat, or melee combat here. And let's just put the barracks out here. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. He could move, but you know what? I'm going to explore once more. I've got to get some destinations out here. Lair of the Tentacle Beast. When you enter this space on your turn, overcome using speed a threat of 6 or tip your hero. To untip it, you pay 1 movement and overcome a threat 4 using speed. If you're in the space and tipped at the beginning of your turn, take 1 wound. Man, that's a crazy one. I'm going to put this way over here. Now there is a quest associated with it, but I hope we won't have to mess with that one for this game. Okay, so those were his points. He has 3 glory to spend. So let's see what he could possibly buy. Well, he can't buy the 4 or the 5. And this is to repel undead. Which, whatever. Okay. So he's not going to be buying anything. That's the end of his hero phase. I have to discard. So let's do the dimensional shift. We'll get rid of that. And I draw 2 cards. And add it to his hand to get 5 cards. Alright, and it is the Necrowarrior's turn. So phase 1, he collects his movement points back. And everything else is alright. So let's see, he has 1, okay, phase 2, Dungeon Lord. 1 peril point to play. And he doesn't have anything that low. So he can't play any of those. So phase 3 is to build, and it's the Well of Healing. Now, actually he has a quest for the Well of Healing. So I want to put it close to him. Let's see. He is headed back. He's escorting the soul back to the beginning. So let's go ahead and just put the Well of Healing here so he won't have far to go for his second quest. All right, and phase 4 is the hero quest. The hero phase. Actually, yeah, I'm waiting for that remake of Hero Quest. I backed it on... actually, it was Hasbro. It wasn't even Kickstarter. Okay, let's see. He's going to spend 1 point to move. He enters the junction, which gives him 2 peril and 1 glory. Okay. And he's going to spend 1 more action to travel into the Tomb Threshold, where he gains 1 peril and 1 glory. All right. So before we do this quest, I want to see what's in his hand. He has 4 glory points. And, okay, got to remember, he has this repel on this minor healing. He hasn't even taken any wounds yet, so there's nothing he can buy. I just want to make sure, because once I finish this quest, the hero phase ends. So, because he's at the tomb entrance, he is going to discard the token and set the soul free. Like that. Okay. That is gone. Okay, what does he get for completing this quest? He gains 1 hero level. So we're going to slide this over to column 2. And because of that, he gains 1 more movement point. All right, he gains 1 more glory. And he would heal, recover 1 wound, but he hasn't taken any damage yet. So we flip this over. He has completed 1 of his personal quests already. That's great. Okay, the last step is to discard. What does he not want? He wants this, he wants that. Legion, Ghoul. Let's just get rid of the Death Shadow because it costs the most. I don't know how long it's going to be before he can spend those. So we get the Battle Fagin, but that'll come in later. Alright, so let's move this over here. It is now the Elf Sorceress's turn. So she regains her movement points. And right now she's up here. And there are no rooms out yet for her. So let's see what she does in her Dungeon Lord phase. She has 6 points to spend. Oh, and she has no Dungeon Lord cards. Wow. Okay. So let's go ahead and add to the map. We'll go to phase 3 and build. This is a Grim Fork. So any traps that are played here, there's going to be a +2 threat for the person who it's played on. Let's put this just way up here. That's kind of a no man's land up there. I try to keep all the action closer to the camera. All right, so she has 2 points to spend. She's going to spend 1 to explore. And she finds this grim intersection. Now in this one, when you enter, you have to pass this speed test or you land on these spikes and you take 1 wound. Alright, so it's going to be a left or a right. Okay, again, I'm going to put this way out here. Hopefully we won't need to go that far out. She has 1 point left. I guess I'm going to spend this to have her move into the well of healing. She gains 2 peril and 1 glory. Now let me think here. There is a rule that if you don't move in a turn, then you still get the peril and glory of the card that you started on. I'm just trying to remember if she moved last time, but oh well, too late. Let's see, she has 4 glory points. She should be able to buy something. That's all she has in her hand. Okay, 5 she can't use. Okay, she could get this Holier Lantern. Belt of Brawn, which gives her +1 to melee. Her melee is 0, so that would help. Teleport Staff. When played, place 3 tokens on this card. On your turn, you may remove 1 token or discard the card to relocate your hero to an adjacent space. Oh man, I haven't played that before. Here's a Repel I've got to remember about. You know what, I'm going to bring out that Teleport Staff. That sounds awesome. So I'm going to put this down to 3. Okay, and that is the 1 treasure item that she can have in inventory. And we're going to put 3 tokens on it. So actually she can use it 4 times, because the last time you have to discard the staff. Alright, so that's all she can buy this turn. So she has to discard. Oh, let's see. I want to keep that. That is inflict 1 additional wound. Ooh, that's good. But it works only on melee attacks. And she won't be making any melee attacks. So let's go ahead and get rid of this one. Alright. So she has 3 cards. Needs to draw 2. Alright, so now she has 5 in her hand again. Alright. And that is the end of the Sorceress's turn. Let's move this over to the Necrowarrior. He regains his points. Okay, and let's see. She has 3 peril for him to spend. Alright. Can't do those. Those are 4s. So all we can do is this Bedfagan. Now he's a vermin. He's like a big rat. He's going to make a melee attack with a +2, and he only has 1 hit point. Okay, so this is, let's point up here, this is the Necrowarrior. He's playing it here, so there's nothing to do with this. There are no quests involved for bonuses or penalties, so this is just going to be a straight up melee attack. So he gets a 3 + 2, which is 5. Now she has 0 for her melee bonus, so she also gets a 5. So being a tie, there's There's no wounds are dealt out, and she doesn't have any points left to attack back. So that is the end of that combat, and he's going to go ahead and start his pack up here. You can have up to 3 monsters in your pack. Okay, that's the end of the Dungeon Lord phase. Now let's go to phase 3, the build phase, the Troll Bridge. So you have to pay 3 glory just to enter this space. If you don't have that, you can try a speed test to get 5 or better. But if you fail, you cannot enter. You have to stay in your previous space. Alright, so the Troll Bridge. Again, I hope we don't have to mess with that. I'm going to put that way over here too. Although there is a quest dealing with the Troll Bridge. Alright, so step 4 is the hero phase. Now he has 3 points to use now. And he was going to go to the Well of Healing to do this. So let's do 1 point for moving. And he gets 2 peril, 1 glory. He's going to spend 1 more point to move again. So now he will be moving into the Well of Healing. And for entering the well, he gains 2 peril and 1 glory. Okay, now let's take a look at this Rig's Curse. You can discard a readied permanent boon while you're there, or permanently nullify your special ability. So you know what? This is going to be kind of like the Little Mermaid. He's going to have to give up his immortality. Sorry, that's a bad analogy. He's going to do it though, because he needs to complete quests. So I'm going to put this token over his ability, because like I said last game, if I can't read it, I can't use it. And that completes this quest. So he gains 1 level. He's now level 3. What else does he gain? Oh, 2 peril. So he's already at 10. So let's go ahead and add another one to make that 12. And he recovers 1 wound, but he's not wounded. So that is his 2nd quest completed. He's doing pretty good. All right, and that ends his hero phase. Again, I forgot to look about spending cards. All right, anyway, let's get rid of, I guess, Legion this time. He's got 3 left. So let's draw 1, 2 cards. Alright, so that's 5. That is the end of Necrowarrior's turn. Now let's turn it back over to the Elf Sorceress. She's going to gain both of hers. Okay, she's down here in the well. Well, let's take a look. Now he has 12 peril points. She should be able to do something against him. Oh, but she can't. All monsters have +2 for the duration of this turn. Wow, this is incredible. Alright, phase 3. We're going to add to the map. She discovers a hallway. Where does she see that? She notices it's way up here. Somewhere they probably will not go. Alright, next phase, she has 2 points to spend, the hero phase. And it may be silly, but she's going to explore. Alright, and it's a corridor. This is really crazy. So let's go ahead and put the corridor, you know what, we're going to put it way up here. Alright, so that is that. She has 1 point left. I think she's just going to explore again. Now I'm going to go ahead and gain the 2 peril and 1 glory because she didn't move. She gets that from the card that she's on already. Alright, hopefully this is one of the cards she needs. And it is the Throne of Tyranny. Now there's a lot of text here, but it's basically you go there and you do a test to see if you gain this Tyrannize ability. We'll really dig into that if it comes up. I'm going to put the throne, I guess, right here. Okay. And that's all the points she has. Now let's see what kind of glory. She only has 2 glory. Boy, I don't think I'm playing her right, because she's just not able to do anything. So the only thing she can do is this Belt of Brawn, which is a treasure. She's already got 1 treasure thing out. Yeah, that's going to be it. Oh, I have to discard. So let's just get rid of this one. And draw 1, so now she has 5 cards. Okay. Let's go back over to the Necrowarrior. He's going to do something. I don't know what, but movement points. Okay, so this global quest, the farther you are away from this, the better chance you have of succeeding. But anyway, before we get to that, I always jump to that for some reason. Okay, we've got 5 peril to spend. Alright, and look at this. He's going to go ahead and spend it all. So we're going to mark this down to 0. Oh, okay, yeah, there's nothing there. No one has any bonuses or penalties for anything. Alright. So these are going to be 2 straight up combats. Let's just do this easy one first. The zombie is going to attack melee and get a +2. Okay, so it rolls a 2. So it actually has a 4. And now her melee is 0. And she only rolls a 1. So in this case, she takes a wound. Well, first of all, let's take a look to see what the zombie does. Yes, it just inflicts 1 wound. Okay, so she took the wound, and she's going to gain 1 peril. Now, I also learned in the rules that when, okay, like in this case, the Necromancer played this zombie card, so he controls this monster. So when the monster makes a wound on a character, the controller can tell which character to put the peril on. It doesn't have to go to the person who took the wound. But in my games, it's only been 2 players, so it's always been that one by default. But the controller does have their choice of who to give that peril to. Okay, so this zombie survived. I'm going to go ahead and add it to his, and I forgot that Bedfagan was out there. Alright, and now the ghoul, okay, he's going to do a melee attack. Let's see if he succeeds first. So let's do, he gets a 3, 4, 5 because of his bonus. Now she does not get a bonus, and she only rolls a 3. So again, he's going to do damage. But let's go ahead and give her the peril first, so we don't forget that. Okay, it inflicts 1 wound, so she's now down to 4. And the opponent must discard a readied boon of his choice. Well, she doesn't have any boons anyway, so that didn't matter. So this will also go into the pack, and that is going to end phase 2. Now we go to the Necromancer's build phase. Let's see what he discovers. He discovers a summoning chamber. Alright, so now she needs the summoning chamber for her quest. Boy, where do we want to put this? I don't want to make it too easy for her, although she could use all the help she could get. You know what? I'm going to put it right here. That's not too far to have to deal with it. Okay. Oh, and demons. Here, let's go ahead and say demons cost 1 less peril to play here. Oh, you know what? One other thing I need to remember is with this in play, I've got to remember that demons have a +1 to attack her because this quest is out. I don't think any demons have attacked her yet, though. I think it's mostly been undead. Okay, so phase 4, he has 3 points to use. And was he going anywhere? He was just kind of getting further away from the tomb so he could do a search for Serac, which is this. So he is going to spend... Oh boy. He should have put that out here, I guess. He's going to spend 1 to explore. And he finds the library. All encounter monsters have +1 magic here. So I'm going to put that there. And then his next point is going to be to move into the library where he gains 4 peril up to 16 and he gains 3 glory. Wow. Okay. Now let's see if I want to buy any glory cards. I've got 10 points to spend. So let's do... I'm going to... Oh, no, he's not the one that has damage. Okay, he does not need to heal. So let's go ahead and spend 5 to inflict 1 additional wound for magic. So he's going to spend 5 to put this permanent boon out. Okay. And the other thing is minor healing, and he's got this repel. I gotta remember that. If a monster attacks him, he can repel it. And he still has enough glory to do it too. Alright, so that is all he's going to spend. So let's take a look at this quest and see what he needs to do. To complete this quest, defeat Serac. To find Serac, roll 7 or more on 1 die while in any room, adding +1 to your roll for each space you are from the nearest entrance. Each turn requires a new search, and each search attempt uses 1 movement. Now, normally your quest, your first attempt is free, but this says each turn requires... Oh. Each turn requires a new search. I'm going to say the first one is free, though. I think that's for each one beyond that. Well, that's how I'm going to play it. Again, I need to look that up and get some clarification on the forums. So anyway, he is going to roll this, and he adds 1 for each space you are from the entrance. Here's the entrance. So he's 1, 2, 3. So I get to add 3 to this. It's only a 2. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and spend his last point to do this again. So he's going to... wait. Each turn requires a new search. And each search attempt. Alright, he's going to look one more time. Oh, he found him this time. I don't know, I just have a feeling I'm playing this wrong, but we'll see. Alright, so since he found him, Serac's going to jump out and do a backstab. So he's going to use speed, and the monster uses the white die. So he ended up with a 2, and 2 plus 3, so he got a 5. Now he has a speed of 4. Wow, that's great. Okay. And I just need to get a 6, really. So a 1. Yeah, that's the one I didn't want, because that gives a 5, which is what Serac has. So it's a draw. And he has nothing to improve. Wow. Alright. Well, he found him, but he was not able to catch him. So let's put that back up there. Okay, so he already spent points to buy cards. So I guess I'm going to have to discard... you know what? Yeah, I can't discard boons. You can only discard treasures. You know what? I'm going to discard a monster. I like both of these cards in my hand. So I'm going to discard this Bed Fagin. That's just a wimpy little thing anyway. Alright, so I only have 2 cards in my hand, so I need to draw 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is 5 cards. Alright, I'm going to do one more turn for the Sorceress. Okay, she regains her points. Now she has, what, 16 points to spend. And again, no dragon, dungeon lord, dragon, whatever they're called. Wow. Alright, so she moves on to phase 3, which is the build phase. She gets the Inner Sanctum. Vermin are half cost here. So Inner Sanctum, summoning counter, Inner Sanctum, she does need that. So I'm going to put this right next to her. Okay. And now she has 2 points to spend. So she is going to spend 1 point to move into the Inner Sanctum to get 3 peril. 3 peril and 2 glory. And she's going to attempt this quest. Drakey jumps out and attacks with a melee attack and gets a +2. So he ended up with a 7. Her melee is 0 though, and so there's no way she can win this. All right, so he did 1 point of damage to her. She takes another wound and gains a peril. She has 1 point left, but you know what? She is not going to attempt that. She's not going to fight back. Instead, she is... Oh, she can't move into the summoning chamber. She's got to go this way because that top is blocked right there. Well, you know what? She might get lucky. She's going to do it. She's going to attack him again. All right, he attacks melee. He gets a +2. Ooh, she might get lucky. So he got a 3. Now she gets no bonus because it's a melee attack. Alright, 2. She takes 1 more peril. Tell you what, this is not her night. She can't get cards. She can't spend points. She can't fight a baby dragon. Okay, and let's see if she wants to spend her 4 whopping points here. She already has 1 treasure out, so she can't do any of those treasures. So that just leaves these. Repel undead or disarm traps. Your hero has +1 against trapped doors. As a response, you may pay any number of values less than discarded before it can take effect. So it's... Man, I really don't want to waste my glory on a trap thing, so I'm going to just discard... What is this? Rope. Against pits and spikes. Let's discard that rope. And just grab 1 more card. That's a red. Okay. The Necromancer was getting ready to take his turn, so let's go ahead and refill his movement points. Now, she has 7 peril points, so let's see what he can do. Arcane Energy, yeah. Crypt Bat, now he's got these out here too. You know what, he's going to send all 3 of these to fight her. This may be the end of the game. Alright, so it's going to cost 4, 5, 6. So we mark this down to 1, because she had 7. Alright, are there any demons involved? Vermin, undead. Nope. All monsters, okay. So this is just straight up combat. So we'll do one at a time. We'll start with the Crypt Bat does a magic attack. Now she does have something about magic attacks. So let's see what he gets. It's a +2. Let's put this up a little bit here. Alright, so he gets a 6. So let's see what this says about her magic attacks. You may pay 1 glory to reroll a die in a magic combat. A die. So that could be mine or his, I suppose. She's level 1. Okay, and luckily she has 4 glory left. But she can only do that once. So, she needs to beat his 6. And her magic is a 1. So she gets a 4 + 1, which is 5. Now, do we reroll this? He's only going to do 1 wound. Whereas this other thing, they all only do 1 wound. You know what? She's not going to use it just yet. She will take the defeat. And she's going to spend... where is it? 1. She took that 1 vermin. Okay, this goes back into the pack. Now there is something I just remembered. She's going to look at both of these. Which one is the more deadly one? Well, they both use melee. He's got a bonus of 3. And he's got, 2 life. So, look at this. I just remembered she has Repel Undead. So when this one declares its attack, she is going to use 3 to target attacking undead is discarded. Plus, your hero has +1 magic this turn. So does that count for her next attack also? I think it does. Okay, so she's going to spend 3 glory. There we go. And that discards both of these. Okay, but let's remember she has a +1 magic. Okay, so the final monster is... Oh, that doesn't matter. He uses melee anyway. Okay, the zombie is going to attack and add 2. He gets a 3, so he actually has a 5. Her melee is 0. And she gets a 3. So, well, guess what? He did 1 wound. She dies. She's not only tipped, but she is underground. Alright. So, by default, that means the Necrowarrior one, I think he was going to win anyway. I mean, he already had 2 quests complete, so he just needed to finish his 3rd one. That is going to conclude my playthroughs of Tomb of the Lich Lord. Now, I do have the 2 expansions, the ones that came after this. So you can expect pretty soon I will do a playthrough of the next one. I forgot what the next one was, but I need to get familiar with it and see what kind of rules changes there are. But once that happens, then I'll start throwing up more videos, and we'll take it from there. Thanks for watching.